Guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're back over on the YouTube account and we're going to be looking at the guild boss and also sharing some substitute comps that we have kind of seen in here. Now, if you're familiar, the guild hunt was finally updated after 6 long years, which is kind of crazy. Players still don't understand what the earrings are and what the earrings do. Heroes that don't wear earrings, not exactly sure what the trade is. A lot of questions about that. And honestly, we reached out to AFK Arena. Not a lot. They said it might have been something with the conversion from Chinese to English. But overall, I'm not sure exactly what it is. Maybe the next iteration we'll see how exactly that looks. So I want to go in here and I want to show you the best in slot teams that we're utilizing. And then of course, show you some alternates. Now this is the first team. Now this runs the Awakened version of Athalia. We are also running Liberta in here with Lucilla. So it is a very traditional comp. Now all 3 of those heroes are in the very top. They are in that SSS tier. We know they are the top tier heroes. They are some of the highest priority heroes to build within AFK Arena. Now right here in the middle is Palmer. Now when it comes to Palmer, crit damage amplification, he is one that will put your damage through the roof, which is the reason why he's being used in this formation. We have the twins in here as the haste, still the absolute biggest, most powerful thing that we have within AFK Arena. The stat haste is where it is for really maximizing the damage. And also remember, we have a multiple of targets here. It's not your one traditional boss, which is what we're going to see in the next iteration. It is going to be Riz. And then we are running the Winged Owl in here. Overall, being able to buff up the haste even further is going to make a really big difference in this team. Now, the second team, we're running the Awakened version of Leica as a primary damage dealer. Now, we do have Randy in here. Again, when it comes to Greyborn, when it comes to priority, absolutely a really big priority in here. We are also running Lavatoon in here as support. Demia, even though she's a mage, a lot of support and a lot of damage. Then we also do have Knockdown here, and then Leica is going to be right in the middle. Now, very unique because Leica will bring in the front line first. With the damage mitigation, the back line comes in, which honestly, that ability doesn't make a big difference, but also does have the energy regeneration ability. Now, players are running the Winged Lion in here. We are also seeing Panda Dumpty in here. So depending on who you have built, depending how well you have them built, you could actually swap to either one of those, and they do incredibly well. Now, when you're starting to look for a beast, you are looking for one that is going to amplify the damage of the existing heroes you have in here. So let's go ahead. I want to run through here and then we'll look at some of the substitutes in some formations, kind of based on who you have, based on how you have built. Now, majority of players at this point are hitting around 71. That seems to be one of the kind of markers. Now, if you're familiar with the original battle with Riz and Soren, there was a cap depending on level on how much you could do. And even looking at all of the top guilds, even looking at the people in my guild, all of the damage is relatively close. I'm talking within, a couple million or a couple billion damage that we're getting for a multitude of attempts in here. And you'll notice within the formation, it is just a lot of damage very, very fast. And then it kind of slows it down. Now, this is what we've seen traditionally when it came to guild bosses is you would almost hit like a soft cap in here and you wouldn't be able to progress much faster because you can see even now, the damage is slowing down a lot. It ramped up very quickly in the early part of the battle, ramped and kind of slowed down overall when it comes to a little bit further. And then the second one, the exact same. You can see Leica does pop in a little bit later. We have Demia in here, which is going to do continuous damage. And like I said earlier, there are 3 essentially bosses in here. This is also going to have a little bit of an RNG factor because you can see right in here, we do have all of Rendel's snakes that are attacking the main boss right in the middle, while we have the other 2 that are kind of running around all kind of crazy. And honestly, I don't know why the selection that they went with in here utilized these bosses themselves. I don't, again, kind of understand the logic, why they would put in the Chinese New Year boss into this formation. We've seen this boss actually pop up a couple different places. And of course, Riz and Soren are in the rotation here, and Riz and Soren are still in the original guild hunt, which is still available in here outside of the field contract. So that takes it to 71. Like I said, a majority of players are doing this 71 billion damage. It seems like that is kind of a cap that is coming in here. Now, some of the alternates, I want to run through a few of these because it's kind of imperative to have some of the alternates. So in here, one of the alternates, and I just want to swipe off all of the heroes, and I'll kind of show you what players are looking at, what we have kind of seen. Now, one alternate formation is utilizing the awakened version of Thorin. If you have Thorin built, works incredibly well. Liberta and is going to be the other one. Again, damage dealer, that's going to be in here. They're also running Leica again in this formation, so we are switching it up. It's almost kind of the combination of the first formation, then Demia, and then people are running Melion. So depending on where you have Melion built, and a lot of players said does have to be built up a little bit higher, but this is another formation. They are running the Panda Dumpty in here as well, is what we're seeing in this formation. So again, a little bit of a different formation build. If you have any different formations, definitely share them down below so we can kind of see them and kind of start a collection of them. Now we are also seeing the awakened version of Shamira with Ivan, again, another build in here, and players are running Crescio. Now this is very interesting that we know when it came to the Temporal Rift, when it came to a couple specific bosses, Crescio was doing a crazy amount of damage in here. Players are also running Shuna in here from the Dimensional Heroes, again, a really big buffer, and then running Randy in here again as your other one. Rendell does a lot of damage in this formation. Again, this is another one, and they're actually running the Seal with this combination. So very interesting. So when you think of the Seal, that is kind of the sixth hero within the formation. Again, kind of changing it up a little bit, seeing the Randy formation, but also putting a couple different heroes in here. And the final formation is, again, a little bit different, but we are running a combination of Palmer, which is very important, and then running Rosaline. Now, in this formation, we are also running the Awakened version of Iran, which goes absolutely perfect with Misha. So this is a very, very strong combination. And then the final one in here is running Demia again. Now this is actually going to go in here and run and follow the Awakened version of Iran. This one as well is running our Owl. So this is going to be the formation again that we kind of have. So a lot of different formations in here, a lot of different builds. So let me know, guys, down below what formations you're running, what you're running in the different formations. But like I said, when you start looking at what is going on with the rewards, it doesn't seem like it's super hard to actually get a lot of the rewards. Even looking at the next boss, which is going to be Riz in a couple different days. But looking at the battles, so again, looking in here, like we said, these are a bunch of guildies. 70 to 71, it seems like this is the cap, like we were kind of talking about. 71 seems to be kind of the cap. Even looking at the guild ranks in here, very close. I mean, you're talking not even in the billions of damage, but you can see we're ranked at 56 right now. But they are very, very close. And honestly, probably the difference between the top performing guilds and some of the other guilds are if players miss the hunt. If players do not come in here and do this hunt themselves twice a day, your guild is going to be missing out on damage. Every player, meaning when it comes to a guild, you have 70 players. You need 70 players in here completing this. I don't know if it's going to be a requirement looking at tier 8. Probably not going to be a requirement to get all of the guild battle rewards in here. But overall, that is where the damage is coming in from those top guilds. If you have 70 active players that are attacking twice a day, that is where the damage is coming from. If I have these remaining attempts and I do not use those attempts, essentially, I'm going to be hurting my guild in the entirety, which could make a big difference when it comes to the future. So, all right, guys, so that's going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.